Sa video na to, i-introduce ko sa inyo yung ating matagal nang inaayos na project. This time, susubukan na nating mag-practice ng mock-up exams para sa Carmen and Honmen gamit itong ating web application na ginamit or ginawa using AI. So, simulan na natin. So, ito guys, yung ating matagal nang inaayos na project. So, para ma-access nyo to guys, ay punta lang kayo dito sa website na to, and www.gaijinworld.com/Japan Driving. So, nilakayan ko lang yung ating initial sign-in page. So, pwede kayo mag-sign in dito gamit ang inyong Google account, or pwede rin kayo mag-register gamit yung inyong email address. Sa sign in tayo gamit yung Google account. Okay? Mag-sign in na tayo. Ayan, so naka-sign in na tayo. Okay, so medyo malaki lang yung ating screen. Pero ito yung main screen, dashboard ng web application na to. So lalakihan lang natin para page. Okay, sa dashboard may kita natin dito yung mga goals or mga milestone na kailangan nating daanan or matapos, makomplete, ma-accomplish. Yan ay makikita natin dito sa left side, yung learning view. Then sa right side naman, makikita natin yung performance status natin. So itong account na to, nakapag-practice na ata tayo. Nagamit na natin siyang pang-practice. Ayan, meron tayo dito 6 attempts nakalagay sa taas for English and Tagalog. 1 attempt naman sa Tagalog. So pwede kayong mag-switch from English to Tagalog. Ayan, medyo baduy nga lang yung pagkakagawa ng mga dito, pagkaka-translate, pero importante naman yung makapag-practice ng mock-up exam. So currently, dalawang language, English and Tagalog yung available na languages dito sa website na to. So subukan muna natin yung English. So currently, ayan, current milestone natin is yung stage 1, which is Carmen Foundation. So mapapansin nyo dyan, pag kinlik nyo yan, may kita ninyo na merong mga stages dito na available. So click natin yung stage 1. And mapapansin niyo na ito yung available na exam sa stage 1. And sa baba nun, nandyan yung mga goals na kailangan nating ma-meet para ma-unlock natin yung kasunod na level. So currently, naka-lock yung level 2. So para maintindihan pa natin, ayan, meron tayong stoplight look-alike dito na mga goals. So, makikita natin dyan na yung 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 ay naka-light na. Kumbaga, naka-lights on na siya. And yung 4 is hindi pa naka-lights on. Kumbaga, turn off pa siya. Which means, ibig sabihin, kailangan pa natin siyang i-accomplish. So, according dito sa mga percentage, ito yung mini-measure yung scores based doon sa pagtitake natin ng exam. So, number 1, yung exams completed, kung ilan yung exams na kailangan mo complete. Number 2, kung ilang beses mo siyang na-attempt. So, minimum dito is 1, depende sa number of exams. Number 3 is yung passing rate. So, dapat out of 70%, yan, makalagpas tayo sa 70%, pataas. Yun yung goal. Number 4 is yung level average score. Yung average score, kung maraming beses kang nag-take, i-average niya, so dapat daw 65% pataas. And yung overall English score is 50%, and then recent readiness is 40%. Ibig sabihin, kailangan kinakalculate ng web application na to kung frequently kang nag-e-exam sa application na to. So kung hindi, bababa siya ng bababa. So kailangan lagi kang nagpa-practice. Click natin hide details para mas makita lang natin yung overview. And ayun, para makapag-start na tayo, click natin tong open exam or i-click natin yung start level. So halos same lang naman yan. So click natin yung open exam para dito sa Carmen English Driving Test. So makikita natin naglo-load na yung exam. Ayan, antayin lang natin matapos mag-load yung exam. So nag-load na siya. Medyo maliit lang yung screen, pero hopefully kita nyo ba. So meron ditong mga buttons, and ayan, meron din ditong mga exam status, exam tools, lalakihan natin, okay? Ayan, so kung mapapansin niyo may timer dito. Ayan. So every time na nagtitake kayo ng exam, meron niyang timer. And pag natapos niyo yung exam, makakakuha kayo ng mga tokens na pwede ninyong ipambili para magamit ninyo itong mga exam tools katulad ng use assist, and yung use assist, yung additional 60 seconds at saka freeze timer. So sa use assist, ibig sabihin magbibigay siya ng hint sa question na to para mabigyan kayo ng assistance, diba? Pero hindi niya ibibigay yung sagot. So let's say try natin tong question number 1. Proper use of a child seat significantly reduces potential damage in traffic accidents and prevents hindrance to a child's driving operation in the event of an accident. So, is it true or false? Ano sa tingin ninyo ang sagot dyan? So, kung ready na kayong sumagot, ayan, i-click nyo lang kung true or false. And kung hindi kayo sure, ay i-click nyo yung use assist para mabigyan niya kayo ng hint. So, kiklik natin yung used assist. Ayan, nag-generate na siya ng assist based doon sa question na to. Hantayin lang natin kasi AI ang nag-generate niyan. So, ayan na. So, sa baba, so sabi niya dyan, based doon sa question, sabi niya dito, think about the primary purpose of safety equipment in vehicles. How does it protect passengers, especially vulnerable ones like children? So, ano daw i-check? Passenger safety, child protection, accident prevention, and common trap, focusing only on the driver's actions and ignoring passenger safety. So wala naman daw image sa tanong na to. Tapos meron siyang mga konting vocabulary words dito na may Japanese and so balik tayo sa question. Sabi niya dyan, proper use of a child seat significantly reduces potential damage in traffic accidents and prevents hindrance to a child's driving operation in the event of an accident. Is this true or false? Tingin ko ang sagot dito ay true, based na rin sa hint niya ano ba yung mga equipment na importante para sa safetyness, lalo na sa mga bata kapag na sumasakay sila sa car. So, tingin ko true ang sagot dito. So, pag ready na kayo sumagot, click nyo lang yung submit answer and wait natin kung tama ba yung ating sagot. Yan, sinasubmit na niya ang sagot. So, sabi dito, correct. Sabi niya, yung sagot ko ay correct. So, next question. I-explain ako sa inyo, ayan, ongoing yung timer. And makikita nyo din dito kung ilan na yung nasagutan ninyo and kung sa lahat ng nasagutan ninyo, ilan yung tamang sagot. So, question number 2. Because of consecutive overnight work and sleep deprivation, it is advisable to suspend driving. O ayan, so kapag kulang ka sa tulog dahil sa pagtatrabaho sa gabi at kulang ka nga sa tulog, ayan, sleep deprivation, it is advisable to suspend driving. So syempre, obviously, this is true. Click natin, submit answer, and sabi niya correct. Tama ang sagot natin. So meron na tayong dalawang tamang sagot at dalawa yung nasagutan na natin. Then may kita niyo sa taas yung exam status 4% based dito sa items, 50 items. Out of 50 items, 4% na daw yung nasasagutan natin. Yun na yung progress na. And meron pa tayong 20 minutes para sagutan yung 50 items. Next question tayo. Question number 3. Before starting a parked vehicle, you signaled and checked the right rear and surrounding for safety to avoid inconveniencing the other traffic. Is this true or false? Before starting a parked vehicle, bago daw mag-start mag-park, you signaled and checked the right rear and surroundings for safety to avoid inconveniencing other traffic. So is this true or false? Tingin ko true. So mag-signal ka bago ka para aware sila na nagpa-park ka. So let's see if this is true or false. My answer is true and I will submit. Click submit and yan, correct daw ang answer. May kita nyo dito sa baba kung true or correct or wrong yung sagot. Next question tayo. At level crossings with traffic lights, one can proceed according to the signals without the need to come to a temporary stop. At level crossings with traffic lights, one can proceed according to the signals without the need to come to a temporary stop. Is this true or false? Ano sa tingin niyo? So, nasa level crossing daw kayo with traffic lights, pwede daw mag-proceed kahit na hindi daw huminto or hindi makahinto into a temporary status, temporary stop. Tingin ko this is false. Kasi kailangan kung nandun ka sa crossing, dapat aware ka din kung may dadaan ba sa left or right side mo, diba? So, let's see if this is false. In 3, 2, 1, submit. Mali. So, tama daw to. At level crossing, mali yung sagot ko. Which is false yung sagot ko, kaya mali. Ang tamang sagot is true. At level crossing with traffic lights, one can proceed according to the signals without the need to come to a temporary stop. So, true daw yan. So, let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. When nearing a pedestrian crossing, even if it's apparent no one is crossing or intending to, one must maintain a speed that allows for a stop before crossing. So, ano sa tingin nyo guys? When nearing a pedestrian crossing, even if it's apparent no one is crossing or intending to, one must maintain a speed that allows for a stop before the crossing. Is this true or false? Pag malapit ka na daw sa pedestrian, kahit wala naman daw dumadaan, one must maintain a speed that allows for a stop before the crossing. Is this true or false? Parang tingin ko false to. Tingin ko false. Let's see if this is false. In 3, 2, 1, submit. Ayan, correct. False daw yan. False ang sagot. Kasi wala naman eh. Tingin ko parang wala naman, parang hindi naman kailangang mag-stop before the crossing kung tingin mo na naman eh walang dumadaan. Okay, next question tayo. Click natin. Question number 6. When backing up in an automatic car, it is best to firmly depress the brake pedal. Put the change lever in R with your eyes, release the handbrake and gradually release the brake pedal, and then gently depress the accelerator pedal. So, what do you think guys ang sagot dito? When backing up in an automatic car, it is best to firmly depress the brake pedal, put the change lever in R with your eyes, release the handbrake and gradually release the brake pedal, and then gently depress the accelerator. Kasi nag-reverse ka eh. So, dapat make sure na nasa brake yung iyong paa, and then gradually release that, and then unti-unti ka mag-accelerate. Gently depress the accelerator pedal. Is this true or false? Tingin ko true to. So, let's see if the answer here is true. In 3, 2, 1. Ayan, sinubmit na natin. And tama. Ayan, correct daw ang answer dyan. True. Next question. Question number 7. When changing lanes, quickly signaling prevents inconvenience to other vehicles. Immediately turning the wheel after signaling is the safest method. Parang abunay naman to. Parang delikado to. So, I think this is false. So, let's see if the answer here is false. In 3, 2, 1. Ayan, sinasabit niya. Yan, false nga ang sagot dito. Kasi parang, alam mo yun, mag-iingat tayo doon sa mga words na like quickly, parang walang pag-iingat, diba? Immediately. Yun yung mga words na parang dapat careful ka nga, diba? So, yun yung mga during the exam, yun yung mga hahanapin natin para safe yung, or tama yung magiging sagot natin. So, next question, question number 8. During a time difference signal, even if oncoming vehicles start moving, it's not guaranteed that the signal ahead is green. So it's necessary to always check the signal ahead. So ano sa tingin nyo guys? Is this true or false? Again, during a time difference signal, even if oncoming vehicles start moving, it's not guaranteed that the signal ahead is green. So it's necessary to always check the signal ahead. So, tingin ko, this is true. Kailangan nating i-check mabuti kung ano na ba yung status nung signal ahead, diba? Kasi, pwedeng magpalit agad yan. So, dapat medyo cautious tayo sa pagbilis. Minsan, hinahabol ako, minado ako dyan. Minsan, hinahabol natin yung pag nag-yellow na, hinahabol natin para makalagpas tayo doon sa crossing. Hinahabol natin bago mag-red, which is, diba, dapat kapag nag-yellow na, ibig sabihin ready ka na to stop before crossing. Although, hindi naman niya binanggit yung crossing dito, parang ang ibig sabihin is yung intersection pala. Yun yung na-imagine ko rito sa question na to. So, I think this is true. It is necessary to always check the signal ahead. So, let's see if the answer here is true. Correct, ayan. True daw ang sagot dyan. Yung next question, ay meron image dito. Ayan, dilitan ko lang yung anan. So, para makita nyo yung image, pero lakayan natin yung yan. Okay, so meron pa tayong 11 minutes. Medyo abagal tayong sumagot kasi 11 minutes na lang at ang nasasagutan pa lang natin is 8 out of 50. So recorded to, ito yung isa sa mga features ng website na to, web application na to, is recorded lahat ng scores ninyo. Kaya nga meron siyang mga goals na kailangan ninyo para makapag-proceed kayo sa next level or next stage para ma-unlock nyo yung next level. So, question number 9. This sign prohibits progressing in directions other than those specified, disallowing straight ahead or right turns at this intersection. So, meron tayo ditong directional sign which is pa-left siya. Sabi niya dito, this sign prohibits progressing in directions other than those specified, disallowing straight ahead or right turns at this So, disallowing straight ahead and right turns at this intersection. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka daw niya inaalaw dumiretso at lumiko pa kanan. Tingin natin, true ito. True. Is this true? Submit natin. Mali. Mali ako. Bakit ako? This sign prohibits progressing in directions other than those specified. This sign prohibits progressing in direction. Oh, mali. Siguro nagkamali ako dahil sa wordings na to. This sign prohibits progressing in directions other than those specified. So, tingin ko ito yung nagkamali ako. Dapat, inaalaw ka niya. Kumbaga, hindi ka niya pinoprohibit. Disallowing straight ahead or right. Dito ako nalito. Disallowing. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka inaalaw. Pero, doon sa first phrase niya, tingin ko ito yung dito ako nagkamali. Okay, next question tayo. Hanggang question number 10 muna tayo. Pero hindi ko to matatapos dahil 50 items. Okay, question number 10. When driving an automatic vehicle, it's safe enough to drive with one hand. So it's permissible to drive while holding a mobile phone and talking. Oh, obvious naman to. False to. Mali. Kasi bawal na bawal mag-drive habang ginagamit mo yung phone at nagsasalita, di ba? Okay lang magsalita, halimbawa may kausap ka, di ba? Pero bawal yung may hawak ng phone. Delikado yun at malaki yung fine dyan. So, false to. Okay? So, submit natin yan. And tama tayo. Yan. Pwede natin itong i-back to exam. Yan, 8 paling tama nating sagot out of 10. Pag binak natin yan, may kita natin dito under progress history. Yan. Yung, kung kailan ako nag-exam. So, may kita nyo dyan, 16% pa lang, 8 out of 50. And pwede nyo ituloy yan. Kiklik nyo lang tong yung exam na yon hanggat meron pa siyang time remaining, pwede nyong ituloy. Ito na niload niya yung question number 11. O sige na nga, sagutan na natin yung question number 11. This sign indicates the presence of a pedestrian crossing for school children or kindergartners. Tingin ko malito. False to. Let's see if the answer here is false. In 3, 2, 1, ay, tama ako. False nga siya. Kasi parang di naman yan, ibig sabihin may pedestrian crossing for school children or kindergartner. Okay. So, yun guys. So, kung meron na kayong mga enough tokens na na-acquire, so may kita nyo dito, meron tayong tokens, 163 tokens. Pwede tayong bumili dito sa buy items. So, click natin yung buy item. Yan, buy items. Yan, medyo malaki yung... So, yung mga available items dito, extra time. Kung halimbawa, 20 minutes lang yung time na given sa 50 items, pwede tayong bumili ng 1 minute or 60 seconds for 20 tokens. Yan, click lang natin yung 20 tokens para makakuha tayo ng 60 seconds, additional 60 seconds. Or ito, assist tokens, which is 25 tokens yung kapalit. So, click lang natin para makabili tayo ng tokens. So, nakikita nyo na babawasan yung tokens natin sa taas. So, yan, bili din tayo ng 60 seconds kasi according dito sa sa performance, Karamen Foundation, 22% pa lang yung ating natatapos. And ayun, nakita nyo, nagbago yung goals natin. Na-disable yung 1 and 4. So, kailangan nating i-resume exam para makomplete natin to at kailangan ma-meet natin yung goals. So, talagang ang goal ng web application na to ay masaulo ninyo yung mga questions dito sa tapusin natin to, may 5 minutes. Although di natin talaga matatapos yung exam dahil ang tagal kong mag-explain. So, sagutan natin yung question number 12. Hintayin na lang nating matapos yung time. Meron pa tayong 5 minutes. Question number 12. When making a left turn in a vehicle at an intersection, the rear wheels pass on the inside of the turn to prevent accidents due to side swiping. When making a left turn in a vehicle at an intersection, so liliko ka pa left sa isang intersection, the rear wheels pass on the inside of the turn to prevent accidents due to side swiping. Yung wheel daw ay liliko, kumbaga iikot para ma-prevent yung side swiping. Siguro yung medyo mag-wiggle yung sasakyan, kaya yung rear wheel is on the inside of the turn to prevent accident. Hindi ko naintindihan pero tingin ko sagot dito true. Tingnan natin kung true ang sagot. So submit na. Oh, tumama pa ako. Nanghula lang ako dyan. So true ang sagot dyan. Okay, so meron pa tayong ilang 3 minutes. Okay, next question tayo. Question number 13. Question number 13. Drivers should cautious when passing by stationary vehicles, as people might emerge suddenly from the vehicle's blind spots. And drivers should be cautious when passing by stationary vehicles, as people might emerge suddenly from the vehicle's blind spots. Tingin ko true to kasi obvious naman na kailangan natin mag-ingat doon sa mga blind spots. Let's say may doon sa lane mo, sa left lane, merong parang nakatigil sa harap mo, doon sa ahead, may napansin ka na nagbe-blink doon na car, nakastop, tapos siguro nag-unload ng gamit, and then bigla kang liliko para maiwasan mo yun. So dapat mag-careful ka kasi hindi mo alam kung sa unahan ng sasakyan na yun may dadaan. So tingin ko this is true. So let's see if the answer here is true. Yan, true ang sagot dyan. Okay, next question. Meron pa tayong 2 minutes. Vehicles must, except in specifically designated cases, travel on the left side from the middle of the road when there's a center line on the left side of that center line. Ang dami center line nun nagulan ako dun. Sana pala gumamit ako ng assist kanina. So dito try natin gumamit ng assist. Since bumili tayo ng mga use assist, marami akong assist. Bumili tayo ng 21 assist tokens. Vehicles must, except in specifically designated cases, travel on the left side from the middle of the road when there's a center line on the left side of that center line. Think about which side of the road most traffic typically drives on in Japan. Consider the purpose of center line. What to check? Standard driving side, meaning of road center lines, exceptions to general rules, confusing general rules with specific exceptions, or assuming traffic rules are the same everywhere. Ano ba? Think about which side of the road most. Tingin ko when there's a center line outside. Okay, tingin ko true to. So let's see, ilan na lang seconds natin. Oh, less than a minute na lang, sagutan na natin to ng true. Let's see if this is true. Ayan, true. Kasi center line eh. So kung center line, dapat nasa left side ka pa rin. Left hand traffic, driving on the left side ka pa din. Kahit na may center line. Chuosen. Ayan, Chuosen. Bakit Chusen to? Chuosen. Okay, so kaya pa ba? 30 seconds. Tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari pagka next question tayo at hindi natin natapos yung question. In areas where the signal is designated as pedestrian, bicycle exclusive, pedestrians, regular bicycles, and motorized bicycles must obey this signal. So ito daw yung sign. I-obey daw natin yan. Sa tingin natin, ang sagot dito ay true. Click natin yan. Oops! Nag-expire na yung ating time. Ito ang ating score. 12/50. Pwede kayong nakalagay dyan na 2 beses natin ginamit yung assist button. Out of 50 items, naka 28% progress tayo. 12 yung tama natin. And pwede tayo mag-retake or bumalik tayo sa learning path or open natin yung progress history. So pag bumalik tayo sa learning path, makikita natin dito yung i-collapse lang natin yung stage 1. Yan, stage 1. Makikita natin na 28% and out of 6 goals, 4 pa lang yung namimit natin dyan. Delete natin. Yan, ito yung goal na dapat nating ma-meet para ma-complete natin to. Mapasa natin tong Carryman English Driving Test number 1. Kailangan daw nating ma-accomplish yung number 1. Ma-complete natin yung exam, itong exam na to. And yung number 2, kung nakailang attempts ka, na kinakount niya yung ilang attempts ka. So, ibig sabihin itong exam na to, and 7 times ko na siyang inattempt para mapasa. Hindi ko pa rin siya makomplete. And yung passing rate niya is 70%. So, 91% naman tayo dyan. Yung level average score is ito kulang tayo sa 65%. 64 pa lang yung score natin dyan. Overalls, ayan, 51%. So, pasok pa din tayo. So, dapat hindi natin mapababayan, kundi dadami na naman yung goals na kailangan nating i-meet. And itong pasok pa rin tayo sa recent readiness. So, dito sa performance, makita natin yung currently, yung performance ratings niya sa atin is 51% dito sa English. So, ibig sabihin, para pumasa tayo sa ating goal, makapasa tayo sa exam, ay dapat 80% itong natin, yung nakikita natin dyan. Yan. Hinati ko lang yung screen. So, makikita nyo dyan yung mga levels na kailangan nating puntahan or ma-accomplish. And sa baba, yan, kung ilan yung tokens natin. Tapos, kung ilan, makikita natin dito sa Vault kung ano yung mga tokens na or mga binili natin sa marketplace. And kung ilan yung experience natin, ilan na yung experience natin. And gaya nga na sinabi ko kanina, yung performance status, makikita natin dito. Siyempre, bago pa lang tong account na to, wala pa ako masyadong na-take na exams dito. Kaya, 51% pa lang. So, ang goal natin dyan dapat 80% para makita natin na ready na tayong mag-take ng Karimen or Honmen exam. Yung totoong exams dito sa Japan. Ayan. So, meron pa siyang mga ibang nire-rate dyan. Yung recent readiness. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa tayo ganun ka-ready. Nasa gitna pa lang tayo. Then, kinakount din niya kung ilang days tayong nag-take ng exam. So, dapat lagi yung consistent. And weekly attempts, kung nakailang, ito medyo madami-dami kasi ilang beses, 7 times na ako nag-attempt. Passing rate, 0 kasi hindi pa tayo nakapag-pass ng isang exam, wala pa tayong naipasa. Attempt volume, kung ilang beses na tayong nag-take, yan, historical yan. Yun. Ayun guys, so I hope masubukan ninyo itong application na ginawa natin. Ma-access ninyo ito sa website na ito, ayan, nakalagay dyan, www.gaijinworld.com/Japan Driving. So, one word lang yung Japan Driving. Try nyo guys. So, I hope makatulong to sa inyo. Kung may mga questions kayo about this app, I hope makatulong yan sa inyo. So, thank you so much. At itutuloy natin. Gagawa ulit tayo ng next video for this one. Yung hindi natin natapos kaninang mga questions. Itutuloy natin yan sa susunod na video. Like, share, and subscribe. Kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, mag-subscribe ka na at hit mo yung notification bell para lagi kang updated sa susunod pang i-upload naming mga videos at sa iba pang mga topics namin related sa pamumuhay dito sa Japan. Puntahan nyo aming YouTube homepage, i-click nyo yung playlist dahil marami kaming playlist dito na makakatulong sa inyong pamumuhay dito sa Japan. Thank you so much again for watching. This is Alan and I will see you on our next video. Huwag niyong kalimutang i-check yung mga videos na lalabas ngayon dito sa screen. Bye!